Never have I been more disgusted with a story, ladies and gentlemen. What happens when you combine your passion for animals into an actual desire to want to be with them? As disgusting as that question may sound, the outcome of what happens when you combine the two is British crocodile expert Adam Britton.
The function of these teeth is that the alligator is going to use all of its bite force to clamp down on the bear. And these teeth are going to puncture the skin and even go into the bone. And then what it's going to use is these powerful muscles on the back of its neck and the weight of its body, and it's going to rip large chunks of the bear off. It's going to open up the flesh so that when the animal swallows it, all the very powerful stomach acids are going to get straight in there and start digesting it very efficiently.
Now, I had never heard of this man before in my life, and the only crocodile expert that's deserving of the title is Steve Irwin. But the more I dug into this Adam Britton fella, the more disgust I felt towards this despicable person. This is what happens when loving your animals goes too far. So what did he do exactly? According to the Daily Mail by reporter Rachel Bunyan, Brit crocodile expert Adam Britton admitted to raping and torturing dozens of dogs, including his own pets Ursa and Bolt, at his animal shelter in Australia as judge condemns grotesque cruelty. And that's just the title of the article alone. That's right, folks. This guy did some pretty heinous shit. But before I jump into this grotesque human of a soul, here's a really quick overview of how he became Britain's crocodile expert.
When you can get out of bed in the morning and 2 minutes later you can be looking at a 5-meter saltwater crocodile. I mean, who's not going to think that's cool?
Before he'd stack up a multitude of felony charges, Adam Britton was a leading zoologist who worked with the BBC and National Geographic on productions.
Crocodiles do the majority of their hunting at night, so it should be the absolute worst time for getting anywhere near them. I really want more than anything to see it having its dinner, so Adam is going to give it a dead chicken right in front of me.
He'd even appear in a spot on the Discovery Channel and was featured in a documentary titled Cold Blood with legendary host David Attenborough. After meeting one of his heroes, Adam would write, "David Attenborough, it turns out, is even more remarkable in real life as he is on the screen. He's not a big fan of hero worship, so we had to rein that in, but he's just a normal, humble, down-to-earth kind of guy who is incredibly smart and possessed of a razor-sharp wit." His wife Erin would even work alongside Prince Harry during one of his trips to Australia on a crocodile experience where she added, "He'd make a great croc catcher. He responded to directions when catching the croc, helped pull it into the boat, and did a great job." But no one, not even his wife Ranger Erin Britton, of over 15 years, could ever have imagined the sinister side of her husband, Adam Britton.
He gives the impression that he knows what's going on. And he probably does. But, ultimately his aim in life is food. He likes food, so he knows I can supply it to him.
The details of Britton's crimes are so horrific and grotesque that Chief Justice Michael Grant urged the public and security staff to leave the courtroom before the prosecutors outlined the facts of the case in a rare move. Britton not only and sexually abused his own pets Ursa and Bolt, who he created an Instagram page for, but also dogs from pet owners who he had lured into his trap through the online marketplace platform Gumtree Australia. Britton would basically scam desperate people who couldn't move with their pets into thinking he could provide a loving home for their animals. If the previous pet owners reached out and asked Britton for updates on their old pets, he would spin a false narrative to say they were healthy and send them old photos. So why in God's name would Adam Britton do these heinous acts? Well, he would share videos and images of himself exploiting the dogs on online forums under pseudonyms. A video titled 9 Pups would be uploaded to one of these forums in 2014, with several YouTube videos following up on the incident, with people even on Adam's Instagram page suspecting him of being the culprit behind the post. The audacity, rot in hell. The dogs should have bit your eyeballs out. Did you this dog too? I can only imagine what you put this poor dog through, burn in hell. With one even adding, if it's not the police, there will be hundreds of public people after this guy. This vile piece of existence would not only plead guilty to these allegations, but since his move to Australia in 2014, Adam Britton sexually exploited more than 42 dogs he had called toys until his arrest in April of 2022. The esteemed researcher had also reportedly kept his sick fantasies a secret from his wife Erin until he was arrested. There is no suggestion that Miss Britton, a biologist and wildlife ranger, knew anything about her husband's crimes, and she appears to have dropped his surname online. He'd even have a room to film his devious pleasures, and the court would even find child abuse material in Mr. Britton's possession. In a message to a random person on Telegraph, Mr. Britton stated that he had tried to repress these urges, but in recent years could not and did not want to stop these feelings. Though his sentencing date isn't fixed until December of 2023, it's safe to say his time spent behind bars won't be a short-lived one. He has been remanded in custody after pleading guilty to 37 counts of animal cruelty, 10 counts of raping or attempting to rape a dog, and 4 counts of possessing or transmitting child abuse material.